Or I say so, you get disqualified. Right. So here we go. Malaria can make anyone very sick, but who are the most severely affected? A. Children and pregnant women. B. Children and old women. C. Children and old men. Let's go. Okay. I'm sure we have a winner now. Albert. Albert won. So, Esinam, come for the presidential hug. Put your hands together for him. If you also want to play to be on the show, just text your name to the short code 1761 across network, and you could be here next week to play for 1,000 Ghana cedis. Now, moving on to round 3. Round 3 is our thematic round, guys. And in round 3, we choose from one of our good life themes, i.e. malaria, water and sanitation, maternal, neonatal and child health, nutrition or family planning. And today we're choosing malaria. So you answer questions on malaria. 10 questions, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Who's getting it and who's losing it? Let's begin with you, Albert. Round 3, question 1. Name 5 common symptoms that show onset of malaria. 5.
1. Feverishness. 2. You sweat profusely. 3. You get dehydrated. Okay. 4. You've
been bailed out, my brother. Dr. Margaret says you sweat profusely, you feel dehydrated, you feel feverish. Is he right?
Well, he got some right. You feel feverish, and then you may sweat. At the height of the fever, you start sweating. Dehydration, I'm not too sure is part of the symptoms of the onset of malaria. What we're actually looking for, apart from the 2 that you mentioned, were body and joint pains, loss of appetite, you have headaches, you are shivering, you feel cold, you lack the energy to do your normal duties, some complain of bitter taste in their mouth. So all these things are symptoms that you are getting a malaria. So we'll give you 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 for Albert. Put your hands together. Cindy, name 5 symptoms that may show severe malaria.
Headache.
Headache.
Chills.
Chills.
Vomiting.
Vomiting.
Joint pains. And body ache.
Dr. Margaret, is she right? It sounds to me like she was mentioning for malaria, not?
Yes. What she mentioned are the signs and symptoms of simple malaria. What we're actually looking for was severe weakness, where one is not able to drink or eat anything. You are not able to stand on your feet. In children, you have them convulsing. Some pass very dark urine, almost color-colored. And then some have very pale palms and conjunctiva and tongue, meaning they are anemic and they might need to take some blood in the hospital. So those were the signs that we're looking out for.
Thank you very much. So she gets nothing out of everything. Plus dark-colored urine, you get unconscious sometimes. So you're wrong. I'm sorry. Albert, where in the human body does the malaria parasite like to live? Where?
the bloodstream.
The bloodstream. Specifically, where? Where?
As in the red blood cells.
The red blood cells, I'm thinking is right. But doctor, you are the expert.
Albert is right.
He's right.
They love to live in the red blood cells. And you also find them in the liver, you can find them in the brain, and also in the placenta in pregnant women, living in the red blood cells in these organs we've mentioned. So he's right.
Cindy, what is the percentage of the population in Ghana that are at risk of getting malaria?
90%.
90%. I'm sorry, it's 100%. Albert, a person having malaria can get a high temperature, yet at the same time feel cold. True or false?
True.
True, that's correct. Cindy, malaria is not dangerous to an unborn baby. True or false?
False.
False it is. That's correct. Doctor, why is it so?
Malaria is deadly during pregnancy because the mother's immunity goes down, and then if the parasites get into the placenta, they interfere with the baby's development. So you can have a baby who is born very small, or the baby can even die before it is born. So malaria is dangerous even to the unborn baby.
Thank you very much. Albert, in 2004, the Ministry of Health stopped the use of chloroquine for the treatment of malaria. Why?
Because of the reaction people normally get from the chloroquine injection. And it was changed to
No, you're not sounding like, okay, who is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah? Oh, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was a friend of Mobutu Sese Seko. Mobutu Sese Seko went to school in, Dr. Margaret. Is he right?
No, he missed the point. The Ministry of Health stopped the use of chloroquine because it was becoming less effective for the treatment of the disease condition. The parasites had developed significant resistance to the drug and it was no longer effective. So they had to find new drugs to replace chloroquine.
Thank you. So Albert is wrong on this occasion. Cindy, what is ACT and what does it stand for?
It's a test that is run on pregnant women at the hospital.
Hey, sister, are you sure?
For treatments like...
I'm sorry, you are wrong. It is artemisinin-based combination therapy, and it's the policy for treating most people with malaria. Name any two recommended ACT drug in Ghana.
and
You've been bailed out. It's artemether lumefantrine and artesunate amodiaquine. That's the reason I didn't want doctor to speak. Cindy, last one for this round. Why is it so important to take the full course of malaria medicine that is prescribed for you? Why?
To kill all the parasites in your blood and cure you from the malaria.
Doctor, so that they will kill you, all the parasites and cure you from malaria. Is she right?
Yes, she's right. Basically, when you complete the full course of treatment, you are cured. And then it prevents also the parasites from developing resistance to the drug. If you don't take your drugs completely, they some die, some remain, and then they become stronger against the drug that you want to use the same time again. So it's important to ensure that everybody completes his or her full course of malaria treatment.
Thank you very much. And that brings us to the end of round 3. We're grinding to a halt on this very first episode of the 4th season of the Good Life game show. At the beginning of the competition, we started with 5 people: Nicholas, Esinam, Albert, Cindy, and Elliot. Now at round 3, we have Albert and Cindy standing. Who's taking away 1,000 Ghana cedis plus a slice of fame, a Good Life hamper, and possibly maybe something, a phone or a tablet? Who's taking all of that away? And who's taking just a presidential handshake and the hag? Here are the scores. Let's go.
The winner for the Good Life game show wins 1,000 Ghana cedis cash. Runners-up and other contestants on the show win Good Life hampers
and mobile phones.
Good Life. Live it well.
So here you go, Cindy. Come take your bag. Congratulations. Put your hands together for Albert. And that's how we choose to end this grand episode of the Good Life Game Show. This is the 4th season. We're just starting, so you know what to do. Send your name in text to the short code 1761 and you get a chance to play on the set. Until next week when we meet again, I say may the pieces in the puzzle of your life come together beautifully to complete your true picture of a good life. My name is Johnny Hughes, the Bonafide Genius, and I'll see you again next time. But please, please, please remember that your good life goes with good health, and only you, because you have the right to live it well. Good night.
This program was brought to you by the Ghana Health Service, BCS Project and USAID.